into our Super 6, the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series Super 6 divisions. We also will bring in the Mini Stock Northern Challenge. There'll be 3 Mini Stock feature events that night. All right, pace car is in, Matt. Looks like we are just about set to go. Dennis Maxfield is on the pole. Green flag is out, and the Max across the line, but Gelinas is the one who will beat him into turn number 1, and Larry Gelinas takes the 48 car and just blasts out in front, leads the field into turn number 3. Derek Ramstrom inside of Jim Banfield. That's the battle for third as Maxfield holds on for position number 2.
Now, Derek Ramstrom, you would like some pace himself. He might not have that luxury tonight because look at that impressive lead being carved open by Larry Gelinas. Strong move on the bottom by the Magic Man, Mike O'Sullivan, as he is able to dart his way underneath Jim Banfield and take over the number 4 position.
They're back to the start-finish line. 2 laps are up on the board, and that lead that Gelinas opened up in the first lap was no fluke. He has maintained that, even though Maxfield appears to be coming up to speed a little bit quicker, closing the gap just a tiny, tiny bit. But Gelinas is in very good stead in the early goings of this one.
Maxie Axe running a strong second, and it's Ramsey followed by Mike O'Sullivan. Remember, we start the night with a 3-way tie for the points between Maxfield, Ramstrom, and O'Sullivan. Look at Mike Stefanik, win high, getting the momentum as he is trying to scald his way underneath Sylvia, and he does it. So Mike Stefanik with a classic move, going up high to get the momentum and going down low to get the position.
And he did, in fact, grab the position away from Sylvia. Long way to go, though. He's got the Mad Dog in front of him. That's George Bissett in the blue and white number 15 race car. Meanwhile, Rolly Lindblad's car number 48 across the line as Lindblad's machine, driven by Larry Gelinas, leads the field of super late models. But Matt, that huge advantage that Larry had built up in the first couple of circuits suddenly appears to be getting a little bit smaller as Maxfield is really coming along in that number 0 race car.
Yeah, Maxie Axe has made that lead dwindle, and he also has to be concerned about the presence of Derek Ramstrom in car number 35. The problem for Larry Gelinas this year is to make that car fast for the entire 30 laps. That will be his mission tonight as Maxfield tries to corral him, almost screeching his way into the corner as Mike O'Sullivan might be having a handling issue, but O'Sullivan is another car that always seems to get faster as the race gets longer.
All right, here comes Ramstrom. He takes a peek to the inside of Maxfield. Down the backstretch they go. Maxfield is able to ward off that challenge. They run through 3 and 4. Here comes Ramstrom again, down low. Derek tries to pull up alongside. Max has the advantage back into turn number 1, but Ramstrom does not give up any real estate down low. In fact, he pulls up and gets a little bit tighter to the 0.
So trying to make a dynamite move. Here he comes, the 35 of Ramstrom. He is all over Maxfield like a hairpiece on Jimmy Spencer as they go into turn number 1. O'Sullivan is there, so maybe Maxfield might be slowing down the pace a little bit because 3 cars are tangling for the number 2 spot.
Some pretty tough competition. Dennis Maxfield, Derek Ramstrom, bumper to bumper, and just a tick off of their pace is O'Sullivan in that number 08 car.
And here comes Ramstrom. This is a pretty bold move that he orchestrates against Maxfield, and he is able to trampoline his way even with the 0. And here comes Ramstrom. We have seen him do this all season long as he has blasted his way underneath the 0, and now O'Sullivan is trying to do the same move. Area for Larry Gelinas. This is when his car starts to fade a little. He still has a lead by about the length of an ironing board over the 35 of Ramstrom, but Ramstrom making things interesting as they blur their way into turn number 3. Ramstrom has come to play.
Last couple of laps, Derek has really reduced the advantage that Gelinas had. Make it less than 2 car lengths as they go back into turn number 1. Larry again up in that second groove. Derek keeps it down a little bit lower, but Gelinas maintains the advantage into turn 3. Down to a car length. Here comes the youngster out of Worcester. Car 35, Derek Ramstrom, now within striking distance. Can Gelinas hold him off for another 8 laps?
Well, the laps can't kick off the scoreboard quickly enough for Larry Gelinas because one of the best young drivers in the entire country is sitting in his lap. As a whirly bird off the corner, here comes Ramstrom, making a desperation move down low, and some great straightaway speed by Gelinas, and he is able to protect his turf.
All right, off of turn 2, here comes Derek Ramstrom. Down low, can't make the move, has to tuck back in line. Bumper to bumper, Ramstrom once again sticks the nose of that 35 right to the bottom of the speedway, pulls up alongside. It's a challenge into turn 1.
Ramstrom definitely stronger in the corners. Gelinas definitely better on the straightaway. So we're in the backstretch. That means it's time for Gelinas to glow, and he does. Pinocchioing his way into the lead, coming off the corner. Ramstrom takes the edge briefly, but then Gelinas, the straightaways, is his playground.
5 laps to go. Gelinas in the 48, Ramstrom in the 35. All O'Sullivan can do is watch what's happening in front of him and enjoy the show because it's a great bit of competition between the veteran Larry Gelinas and the youngster Derek Ramstrom.
The man from Maine, a past winner at Oxford Plains, is able now to lengthen his lead by a little bit, so he's got a small cushion against a 35 leading by a surfboard. Then we have O'Sullivan in third, followed by Banfield and Maxfield. So Banfield has made the climb. Look at Ramstrom. He will not give up. They go into turn number 1. This is his strong point of the track in the corners. But right now, it looks like Gelinas is even good in the corners, as good in the corners as he is on the straightaways.
It looked like Derek Ramstrom almost had it covered, but then suddenly Gelinas came alive and is super strong with 2 laps to go. That number 48 car continues to set the pace. Derek Ramstrom trying everything in his playbook to find running room. He'll take a peek to the inside. Can't make the move on the backstretch. What will happen in turns 3 and 4?
We are getting ready for the toughest lap in auto racing. If your name is Larry Gelinas, leading by a half a car length. They go into turn 1. This is a strong point for Ramstrom. He is pulled even down the backstretch. Gelinas by a sliver, by a toothpick. They go into turn number 3. Gelinas still has the advantage. It's a desperation move for Ramstrom. Pulling even, coming off the corner. Gelinas hanging in, and Gelinas gets the victory. Ramstrom will settle for second, followed by Mike O'Sullivan. Banfield in 4th, Maxfield in 5th. Stefanik, followed by Bassett, then Sylvia, and then the 11 car, and Daryl Stample is next, and the man who doesn't finish, Matt Zanitsky. As Zanitsky made contact with the wall before he could make contact with the finish line, and Zanitsky's car is in pretty rough shape.